Hi, it's Aneta here from Aneta Yoga Studio and Wellness. Today is day number 36, the 5th of February, Monday the 5th of February 2018, and I'm just popping to say hello to you in the Wisdom of Daily Practice 2018. And how are you today? How is your practice going? We are the second week of February, and I did my practice today, interestingly, in bed. I started getting quite sneezy yesterday and took a lot of time to rest, and equally this morning I felt quite sneezy. My nose was running like a tap, and that's normally my warning sign. It normally starts for me with the runny nose, and rather than pushing, rather than straining, rather than forcing myself to get up and work, knowing that I'm working in the evening, I'm just on my way to the studio now, where I'll be teaching 2 classes. Rather than doing that, rather than straining and pushing, I actually allowed myself rest for the whole of the morning. Did a lot of meditation in bed and did a little bit of gentle stretching in the bed. And now that I got up, I moved a little bit around as well. And it really made me think about, I have already talked about that, about this kind of shame that comes that the society gives us when we rest, when we actually feel we need rest and we rest. And it really made me think about how the society really expects us to work just like machines or like factories. And before the factories, before the electricity and the big revolution, industrial revolution, we used to live so much more in tune with nature. And thinking about this, today I was watching the snow coming down through the window. So if we are still in the middle of winter, as they said on the news, possibly the coldest week of the year, they are expecting it to be till -7 degrees. So quite a cold weather, and this expectation that we will be on the go 24/7, 24/7, 24/7, that if we're not working, we're not good enough, we're not productive enough, we're not strong enough. And it's such a damaging myth, really, such a damaging conditioning that we all really pay into and buy into so much. And how much of our energy and time is spent of trying to really show up to that level, show up to that standard, and really, prove our worthiness because we're working so hard. And how many of us are suffering from burnout? I mean, I suffered from burnout in the past. I know my early warning signs. I've watched a lot of people that I love and people that I worked with suffer from burnout. Some of those situations had very, very life-threatening consequences. Others were simply that somebody developed a chronic illness, debilitating, for the rest of their life, that we'll have to manage. Others were just people suffering from emotional and psychological burnout. So really important to look after yourself. So, and I talked also about a little bit in the past about how to do practice if you have to do it when you are not well. And this is what I did today, which is I just practiced a lot of loving kindness, a lot of breathing. You can hear my breathing is still quite affected. A lot of just gentle stretches, lots of gentle twists, stretching the legs, moving around a little bit, and really creating a bit more ease rather than that strain, that pushing, that striving. I know as a business owner, that can be a real issue for those of us who are self-employed. And whenever I work with people, I always hear the stories about people, having a heart attack because they couldn't say no, because they had to work all the time. Because if they don't work, they're not bringing money in. last week one of the ladies was telling me about her friend, exactly that story, that her friend was just released from hospital, that she almost suffered a heart attack because of being self-employed and because of working all the time. So really, really, really important for us to take a step back and think about this, what it is that we are doing, listening to the body, that body wisdom that is always speaking to us, and treating ourselves with kindness above everything else. And I wish you a really wonderful evening, and hope you're getting on with your practice. Would love to hear your thoughts around burnout, your thoughts around recognizing the early warning signs of burnout approaching, and how you deal with it. I always love hearing how people are managing those situations. And I wish you a really wonderful evening. Namaste.